Visit us on onestepenglish.com. Listening. Directions in listening section, you will hear monologues, dialogues, and academic talks.
A wish come true.
Ling had moved to a new city. He was feeling lonely. So far, he had not met any boys or girls his age. Ling went to the park, and he sat on a bench for a while. Then he walked to the wishing well. Ling threw a penny into the well. "I wish I had a friend," he said to himself. After he made his wish, Ling stretched out on the grass. Soon he fell asleep. When Ling woke up, a boy was standing near him. "My name is Travis," he said. "You must be new around here. Would you like to play tag?" Ling nodded happily. He and Travis played tag with some other children. Then they made up stories about princes and knights. Ling and Travis agreed to meet again the next day. Then each boy went home.
Number 1. Which of these things happened last?
Letter A. Ling and Travis went home. Letter B. They agreed to meet again the next day. Letter C. Ling went to the park.
The correct answer is letter A. Ling and Travis went home.
Number 2. What did Ling do just before he fell asleep?
Letter A. He sat on a bench. Letter B. He played tag with some other children. Letter C. He stretched out on the grass.
The correct answer is letter C. He stretched out on the grass.
Number 3. Which of these statements is a fact?
Letter A. All of Ling's wishes come true. Letter B. Ling was lonely because he didn't have any friends. Letter C. Travis had also just moved to the same city.
The correct answer is letter B. Ling was lonely because he didn't have any friends.
Reading.
In this section, you will be required to read 2 passages on varying topics. After each passage, you will answer questions to test your ability to understand vocabulary, writer's point of view, factual information and sentence structures.
Reading number 1. What is happiness? Source: www.psychologytoday.com.
Number 1. The author implies that
Letter A. Happy people are high in humility and patience. Letter B. Self-mastery is important to determine happiness at a given time to continue striving for fulfillment throughout their lifetime. Letter C. People find joy in lasting relationships, working toward their goals, and living according to their values.
The correct answer is letter B. Self-mastery is important to determine happiness at a given time, to continue striving for fulfillment throughout their lifetime.
Number 2. Why is happiness not a constant thing?
Letter A. Happy people live with purpose. Letter B. It isn't happiness per se that promotes well-being, it's the actual pursuit that's key. Letter C. Every person has unique life experiences per stage of life, and therefore unique experiences of happiness.
The correct answer is letter C. Every person has unique life experiences per stage of life, and therefore unique experiences of happiness.
Number 3. According to the passage, what are some outward signs that someone is content?
Letter A. Smiles and laughs readily, is high in humility and patience, tormenting others. Letter B. Correcting others, petting a dog, sitting under a tree. Letter C. Does not register small annoyances, smiles and laughs readily, is high in humility and patience.
The correct answer is letter C. Does not register small annoyances, smiles and laughs readily, is high in humility and patience. Reading number 2. COVID-19 travel advice. Source: www.mayoclinic.org.
Number 1. What is the passage all about?
Letter A. Safety precautions for traveling. Letter B. Diagnosis and symptoms when traveling. Letter C. Increased cleaning and disinfecting of surfaces and equipment during travel.
The correct answer is letter A. Safety precautions for traveling.
Number 2. Why do most viruses don't spread easily on flights?
Letter A. Because air travel makes social distancing easy. Letter B. Because of how air circulates and is filtered on airplanes. Letter C. Because air travel involves spending ample time in security.
The correct answer is letter B. Because of how air circulates and is filtered on airplanes.
Number 3. Why is car travel safer than air travel?
Letter A. There are restaurants that offer drive-through or curbside service. Letter B. Gives the traveler more control over his environment. Letter C. One can easily use a disinfectant wipe on handles or buttons after a transaction.
The correct answer is letter B. Gives the traveler more control over his environment.
You've reached the mid part of the video. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe.
Vocab. In this section, you will learn vocabulary words with its meanings and examples. In the test, there are 5 questions and you have 10 seconds to answer each question.
Research. A noun. The systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions.
Example. The Gates Foundation has donated millions of dollars for medical research.
Enamored. A verb. Be filled with the feeling of love for.
Example. Mark Antony was enamored of Cleopatra.
Annoyed. An adjective. Slightly angry, irritated.
Example. The insistent reporter annoyed the senator during his interview.
Accessible. An adjective. Of a place, able to be reached or entered.
Example. Some travel destinations in California are accessible by train.
Diagnose. A verb. Identify the nature of an illness or other problem by examination of the symptoms.
Example. Maria went to the doctor and was diagnosed to have a rare fatal lung disease.
Quiz time.
Number 1. The doctor will. The exact cause of my dog's illness. A verb. Identify the nature of an illness or other problem by examination of the symptoms.
Letter A. Research. Letter B. Enamored. Letter C. Annoyed. Letter D. Accessible. And letter E. Diagnose.
The correct answer is letter E. The doctor will diagnose the exact cause of my dog's illness.
Number 2. The harbor in our place is only by small boats. An adjective of a place able to be reached or entered.
Letter A. Research. Letter B. Enamored. Letter C. Annoyed. Letter D. Accessible. And letter E. Diagnose.
The correct answer is letter D. The harbor in our place is only accessible by small boats.
Number 3. Gina was. Because she can't go out and play yesterday. An adjective. Slightly angry, irritated.
Letter A. Research. Letter B. Enamored. Letter C. Annoyed. Letter D. Accessible. And letter E. Diagnose.
The correct answer is letter E. I had a fun interaction with my students a while ago.
Number 4. I know that you are. With his personality and passion. A verb. Be filled with a feeling of love for.
Letter A. Research. Letter B. Enamored. Letter C. Annoyed. Letter D. Accessible. And letter E. Diagnose.
The correct answer is letter B. I know that you are enamored with his personality and passion.
Number 5. I didn't sleep well last night because I had to finish mine. A noun. The systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions.
Letter A. Research. Letter B. Enamored. Letter C. Annoyed. Letter D. Accessible. And letter E. Diagnose.
The correct answer is letter A. I didn't sleep well last night because I had to finish my research.
Speaking section.
Describe Queen Elizabeth.
The Queen has ruled for longer than any other monarch in British history, becoming a much-loved and respected figure across the globe. Her extraordinary reign has seen her travel more widely than any other monarch, undertaking many historic overseas visits. Known for her sense of duty and her devotion to a life of service, she has been an important figurehead for the UK and the Commonwealth during times of enormous social change. Her Majesty continues to carry out a full program of engagements, from visits to charities and schools to hosting visiting heads of state, to leading the nation in remembrance and celebratory events, all supported by other members of the royal family. Queen Elizabeth II carried out her first major public engagement since her husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, died last month. The Queen attended the state opening of Parliament. To date, she remains to be an active figure of the British government. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Visit us on onestepenglish.com.